You are clear for launch, and with that, shut down your visors, O2 on, and prepare for ignition, 202. Copy that, and, initiating a full 10-4-4.
Gracious God, creator of the universe, and yet the lover of my soul. Alpha and Omega, and yet I can call you friend. I don't have to beg you for anything, but I can thank you for everything. God, I thank you because this is the day that you have made, and I can rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you for this day of magnificence and glory and splendor. God, I thank you for life, health, and for strength. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for peace, love, and joy. I thank you for the essence of you that envelops me right now, from the crown of my head to the soles of my feet. We thank you for this day of manifestation. We thank you for the day of revelation. We thank you for the day of impartation. We thank you as you move in the midst of your people to bring us to the greatest times that we've ever seen since the foundation of the world. Thank you, Lord, that for this time and for this season, you've allowed us to be a part of your move in the face of the earth. I thank you, God, for the revolution that you're bringing forth, God, even in the midst of the earth right now. And I thank you for the opportunity to be a part of what you're doing in this hour, because in the last days, saith God, you said you would pour out your spirit on all flesh. And so now we thank you for the pouring out. God, I thank you for the rain and the move of your spirit. I thank you for fresh oil. I thank you for new wine. I thank you for the new thing that you're doing. I thank you now that it does spring forth. I thank you, Lord, that you've called us to be the head and not the tail. You've called us to be above only and not beneath. You've called us to be the lender and not the borrower. You've called, God, that our storehouses would be full and increase. God, I thank you because even I decree and declare that the people under the sound of my voice, even now, are moving in the might of your strength, not by might nor by power, but by your spirit. I thank you for those that are the sons and daughters of God that are called because they walk not after the flesh, but after your spirit. I thank you for the rising up of the people of your kingdom. I thank you that your kingdom come. I thank you that your will be done, even now in earth as it is in heaven. I thank you, Lord, because you are moving in the midst of your people mightily as never before. Raise us up, oh God, to the standard of what you've called us to be. God, I thank you for the standard of greatness. I thank you for the standard of holiness. I thank you for the standard of moving as the sons and daughters of yours, and not as vagabonds, not as those that never knew you, not as those that are confused and confounded, but God, those that know who they are in you. I thank you for the knowing. I thank you, God, for knowing you. I thank you for knowing your presence. Thank you for knowing your Holy Ghost power that gives us the ability to be successful. Your anointing that gives us the power to rise up and be called blessed. Thank you for that is in us. Thank you, God, for all things that pertain to life and godliness. Thank you because we are not confused. We are not deceived. And we thank you for that clarity of mind and the clarity of vision that allows us to walk forth as kings and queens, as princes and princesses in the kingdom that walk in the earth. We thank you that we are your beloved, and we rise up as the apple of your eye. We rise up, oh God, as those that you love with all of your heart. And God, we love you back. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for soundness of spirit. I thank you that healing is our bread. Healing is our deliverance. By the stripes of Jesus, we're already healed. And we speak forth that healing even now for those that need it. Thank you, God, for every stripe that was taken. Thank you for the bruising. Thank you that he was wounded for our transgressions, bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him. God, with those same stripes we declare and we speak healing in Jesus' name. We give you glory, we give you peace, we give you honor, we give you blessing, we give you might. We ascribe all of these things unto you because they are yours. Thank you, the fruit of my lips giving thanks unto your name, ever giving you all that is yours. Glory, honor, power, dominion, majesty, it's yours. I decree it and I speak it. In the mighty name of Jesus, it is so. Amen and amen. Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to welcome you to today's edition of Yes, You O Cubed. What does O Cubed stand for? One-on-one, because it's just me and you. I am your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman, and I appreciate you for joining me here on this fine day. Yes, today, y'all, it is Friday. It's a fresh start Friday, May the 13th in the year 2022. And I'm so glad to be here with you. And I'm so glad for every one of you that joined me here in the Lion's Den. Now, you know how we get it started. This is I tell you what, the weather, it's looking like it's getting ready to storm something real ugly. I mean, just pure D ugly here in the Lion's Den. I'm in Kansas City, so I don't know where you might be here, there, and everywhere, but the weather outside is looking frightful. I'm just looking out the window where I am now, and I'm like, Lord, today, the last 3 days have been hell degrees. Yes, it's been burning up. I tell you what, we went from all kinds of cold weather, rainy weather, stormy weather to hot weather, and it looks like we are now back to, it's already storming ugly and shiny. I hear you. It looks like it's moving this away. There's a storm out on the ocean and it's moving this away. I believe it because when I looked out my door, Stacy 546, when I looked to the west, the billows of clouds were just almost pure black. And I could tell it was coming this away. If I wasn't, I haven't heard any of the news reports this morning. I haven't had the television on at all. Excuse me. But when I first looked, when they started rolling this way, I said it almost looked like some tornadic weather coming this way because the sky was just looking crazy. But at the end of the day, the clouds just kept getting darker and darker and darker. Nonetheless, we're here. If we have any, I hope we won't have any interference in the stream today, but just know the weather up here is not looking good. So hold on to your weave, hold on to your wigs, because it might be a little windy today, but we're going to make it through. In the meantime, I want to start this as we always do. Let's get this party started. I love to appreciate those that get up bright and early and come into the Lion's Den to share their love with us here. And I want to appreciate, I had 5 folks this morning. I said, oh my goodness, 5 people came in this morning to get in the VIP section. I want to appreciate every last one of them. And we first want to start with, yes, the head usher was the 5th one in the room this morning. Miss Fabulous, thank you for reporting for duty. I appreciate you so much. Okay, MCP, I got you. Family coming in. Come through. I got you, MCP 812. Good morning to you. So let me go ahead and get your good morning out. I see you. I love you. All kind of hugs coming to you. A BTD kind of hug right now to you, MCP 812. And enjoy your family as you prepare for them to come in. I love it. Now, the 4th person in the Lion's Den this morning. There she is. 2 tambourines. Come on. I love you. The 4th person in the Lion's Den this morning, I tell you, she set us on fire yesterday. She had the house jumping. I mean to tell you, the Holy Ghost tore this place up for real. I had several people that said, did you go off early yesterday? I was looking for you. Baby, God showed up as Stacy 546 says, God happened. And that just happened to be the shirt I was wearing on yesterday. God happened. And we got in here and we got out of here, but not before we had a good time. I'm telling you. It was off the chains. It was just, we hit the pinnacle. There was nothing to top that. And there was no point in going on because listen, we got that. I'm telling you. So at the end of the day, I appreciate every last one of you that were in here on yesterday, but this 4th person in the room, Kai Chick, that's my girl. I call her the evangelist because baby, She goes into the highways and hedges and she compels people to come. I appreciate her. I really, really do. She is just so special. Kai Chick, I need a better picture. I went out and grabbed that on somewhere. But if you can, when you get a chance, just inbox me a better picture because I want them to see your beautiful face in all its glory without the fuzz. But there you go. That's my girl. She came in, set the house on fire yesterday. I'm telling you, she set the house on fire. There it is. Now, why can't I get a picture like that? I tell you what. Kai Chick, the best is yet to come. Eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard. It hasn't even entered into your heart the good things that God has for you. But I appreciate you for coming in even bright and early this morning in the Lion's Den. Yep, she did a check at 2:50 a.m. And I believe, I don't know what time zone are you in, Kai Chick? Let me know what time zone you're in. I know you're lurking and working. And that's the thing about her. She comes in faithfully every morning. She supports, but she's at work while she's going forth. So, I appreciate the lurking and working. And, but yet and still, I tell you what, I'm just yet rejoicing for that testimony, how God came through for you. And again, once more and again, congratulations on that promotion. Now, as we look at who came in the Lion's Den and who's going to put their lips, hips, and fingertips. Okay, Eastern time. So it was actually, yes. I appreciate that. So you're actually an hour earlier than what I am. So thank you so much. Oh man, y'all just don't know. I appreciate y'all so much. I really, really do. The third person out of the 5, the third person in the Lion's Den clocked in at 12:24 in the a.m. And she's going to get her lips, hips, and fingertips on that love seat this morning is none other than BTD Mom. BTD Mom, you did that thing, otherwise known as Anita Harvey. Yes, come on in here. I appreciate you coming in. Come on, Liza Beza. Come on. I appreciate you all the way from Canada. Thank you for coming in, sis. So much love coming to you. Listen, all the love coming to you, and we're so glad that you're here. BTD Mom, you did that. Yes, ma'am, at 12:24. But you're good. It just really there was some folk. Woman Unsilenced, I see you lurking and working. So much love coming to you. She is a streamer, and if you're not following Woman Unsilenced, and I hate that I missed your stream on yesterday. I had too many irons in the fire, but she deals with justice and releasing and coming back into society. I appreciate everything that she brings to the table. I'm gonna say it once more and again. Her stream is a very unique stream, and it's a very needed stream. So please go out there. If you're not following Woman Unsilenced, I want you to follow her. She will bless your whole life, and she's doing some good work out here in these streets. She really, really is. She's doing some much needed work out here in these streets. So please follow Woman Unsilenced, and thank you for lurking, dear. Now, the second person in the Lion's Den this morning was none other than Shelly Thunder. Shelly Thunder, you are the runner-up to Grandpa Holmes' chair. Come on in here and get your lips, your hips, and your fingertips in that chair, dear, because you did that. Come on. I appreciate you. And you know I got to give it to you the way you do it. That thunder roll. Yes, I appreciate you. Thank you, Shelly Thunder. And you came on in here and you did your thing. My goodness, 12:20 still didn't hit the mark because listen, there was somebody that was in the Lion's Den at 12 o'clock sharp. I'm trying to tell you, 12 o'clock sharp. The Lion's Den was already occupied, y'all. The Lion's Den was already occupied. And Grandpa Holmes' chair had been taken by none other than Truck driver, you are the winner of Grandpa Holmes' chair.
Come on here. Go ahead and take your throne. Go ahead and sit down, Bishop. Go ahead, Chuck. Go ahead, Chuck. Truck had a good day yesterday. Truck had a good day yesterday. Yes, he did. That's my guy. That's my Lion King. That's my Mufasa. James Sims, go ahead and take your seat, sir. You earned it on yesterday. I'm here to tell you he was in at 12 o'clock sharp. My brother from Louisiana was in the chair. I appreciate you, sir. And that's my guy. I tell you what, there was word that came out to the brothers that were in here on yesterday. Oh my God. And you know, I appreciate every last one of the men that come in and support the stream. I appreciate having a diverse stream. I appreciate everybody that comes in from everywhere, from all walks of life. It's just a beautiful thing. Truck driver, that's my guy. That's my brother. You did have a great day yesterday, Truck. I'm telling you, I love you. I love you. I love you. I cannot tell you enough and express to you how much I love you, sir. You are just all that and a bag of chips. So much love coming to you. And please know, as I keep speaking, I hope you understand that your best days are here. Your best days are here. So get ready to manifest it and walk it out and see it right before your eyes. Watch it unfold. Now get that mod love ready, because I got to give some appreciation to these moderators here in the Lion's Den. You know her. Yes, we know her by the thunder. Shelly Thunder, I appreciate you. That's our mod. She is a mod extraordinaire. I appreciate her. She's followed up by the leader of the pack, the Rebel Inc. And yes, if you all are not following her, you need to be following her. We will be leaving this stream and going to play some bangos with the Rebel Inc. immediately after this stream today. That's my girl. That's my day one. I appreciate her so much. And of course, the third part of the Trinity, Michelle Brownell, that's my girl. I just love her. The quiet storm. She changes the atmosphere just by her presence. Thank you, ladies. You all are well appreciated here in the Lion's Den. We couldn't make it without you, and we love you so much. Now, I just want to make a quick announcement, and we're going to be out of here. This is Friday, y'all. It's Friday. So as we get ready to wrap it up, you know how we do. We have the Good Grief at 12 o'clock Central Time. Good Grief will be flowing and going, y'all. And I appreciate the ladies that take the care of that for us. Today we'll have Crazy Berrytown that will be leading us on the journey. And so prayers going up to Kim. She's got some other duties required at the time. We don't always have to know what's going on, but just prayers going up. But Kim, Crazy Berrytown will be on point as she always is. 12 o'clock Central Time. You want to meet right back here in Good Grief. For Good Grief here in the Lion's Den. So we'll be looking forward to meeting at 12 noon for Good Grief and that journey. You are not alone. Now, I also want to make a quick announcement that on the 22nd, yes, the 22nd of May, Sunday at 6 o'clock p.m., Susan Fairley, that's my girl. She will be right back here. This woman is absolutely dynamic. You do not want to miss it. Tell your friends, tell everybody that you can. Let them know that Susan Fairley, otherwise known here on Twitch as Fairley All Day, will be in the Lion's Den 6 o'clock p.m. on that Sunday evening. She is an Emmy Award winner, and she also received Grammy nods. Her specialty is in editing, studio recording, and engineer, and she is very knowledgeable in law and contracts. So I appreciate her being so kind and gracious. And I told her, she's like, "You want me back?" I said, "Listen, we want you back as many times as we can get you back, because at the end of the day, there's just so much knowledge. There's such a wealth of knowledge in this woman that we just cannot afford to miss what she's got to give to us. So please be here at 6 o'clock Sunday, May 22nd, 2022, and it's on and popping. Now, you know how we do. It's time to come around and say good morning to everybody. I appreciate everybody that's in the Lion's Den. This has been a phenomenal week. You see me, listen, I'm still coming down from that high on yesterday. That yesterday morning session just took me out, y'all. I mean, it just took me out. It was just so powerful. And I love it when God shows up like that. As Stacy 546 says, God happened. When God happens like that in the mix, that makes my whole day. It's not even a matter. We didn't make it 2 hours. It wasn't about 2 hours, honey. He showed up and did a quick work and was on it. So we were in and out. I'm still trying to get my strength back, y'all, because listen, I'm going to tell you what, I was on high all day long. I really was. I was on high all day long. So I'm, now my body is letting me know, girl, who you think you are? Listen, but that's okay. That's okay. We're still good. I got out Crazy Berrytown. Yesterday, she did some awesome stretches and then went to Zumba. I made it almost all the way through the whole event. And I was so proud of myself because you know what? I recognize, if anything, for show, while all this glory is falling, if you don't realize it, I want to tell you, you got to get your body in shape. You got to get your body right. Do whatever you can to get your health in tow, because you're going to need it for this leg of the journey, because baby, this train is moving and it ain't slowing down for nobody. So get your health right, get your body right, get your mind right, because all of that is very critically important in this phase of the game. Now, I want to come over here and say good morning. I see you, the Rebel Inc. Oh, come on through here. I appreciate you, Stacy 546. I'm coming down and I see BTD Mom looking, and I'm checking out, and thank you, Auntie Diddy. Yes, her husband, Uncle Diddy, is a streamer. If you're not following him, please go out there and follow him. But Auntie Diddy is here. Thank you, sis. So much love coming to you, my dear. Thank you for coming in the Lion's Den this morning. I appreciate you for all that you do. Coming on down, and I'm looking and I'm booking SK8843. Good morning to you. Come on in the Lion's Den. I appreciate you. MCP812, she's here. She's in and she's out because family's coming. But while she's here, so much love coming to you. You said the thunder just tried to come in your house. Is Shelly there? Stacy, is Shelly there? That's all I want to know. Now, as we keep going on down the line, BTD Mom, I see you, sis. So much love coming to you. I appreciate you. Oh, he's in the room, y'all. Pastor Damon Blissett. Yes, he's a YouTuber. If you're not following him out there on YouTube, Blissett Ministries, I want y'all to go out there and check out my brother. I see you, and so much love coming to you. Kai Chick, that's my girl. I see you in the room, and come through. I'm loving it. Tall Pumps is pumping tall. Good morning to you. I see you in the mix. Come on in the room. Coming on down, and Liza Beza 1, I want to appreciate you for being, and I'm saying Liza, I don't know if it's Lisa, but I'm saying Liza Beza 1, and correct me, I do want to pronounce your name correctly. She's in the room all the way from Canada, y'all. Canada is in the house. Come on here, Canada.
I can't hear you.
Canada is in the house, and I love it, y'all. Come through, Canada. Love you, sis, and thank you so much for coming in the room. Now, coming on down, Woman Unsilenced is lurking, and she's working, but she's here, y'all. So much love coming to you. You gonna tell Grandpa? BTD Mom's getting ready to tattle. She's getting ready to tell on you, cheering. She's getting ready to tell on you. I'm so tickled. Now, coming on down, and I'm looking and I'm booking and I'm seeing who else is here this morning, and we're going to get ready to come right on into our conversation. Shelly Thunder is in the room, y'all. Good to see you. And Shelly, it sounds like you might be over at Stacy 546 house too, because she's talking about the thunder in her house. Cassandra Isaiah, that's my classy sassy. That's my Cassie. Yes, Cassandra Isaiah is our poet laureate, and I see you in the room, sis. So much love coming to you. Truck driver, yes, he was the winner of Grandpa Holmes' chair this morning, and he's in the room and he's ready. He's ready to go, and I love him. Traveling mercies to you as you're out out there on the highways because listen, I don't know what the weather is there, but I'm telling you, I'm looking out the window right now. The wind is starting to blow the trees. They looking crazy and the sky's looking crazy. You be safe out there on those highways and byways. So much love coming to you, sir, as you travel. Coming on down. And I think, did I get everybody that's in my chat? And to those that are not in my chat, but that you're here listening, I want to appreciate you. So much love coming to you. Snitches get stitches. BTD mom, Tall Pump's got a word out here on you. She said, snitches get stitches. Shut your mouth. Y'all ain't got no sense. So at the end of the day, listen, BTD mom, I don't know. I got a feeling. They're not feeling you telling Grandpa Holmes on them. Cause listen, it's the Paw Patrol, y'all. It's the Paw Patrol. And they have no intention of acting right. They have put out a warning. They have put out a hit on BTD. Oh, Lord God, today. We need protection. We need protection up in here. Paw call. Yes, I did say Paul. It's the Paw Patrol. And I knew you were ready. I didn't have any doubt in my mind. I had no doubt in my mind that you were ready. Now let's get this. You gonna protect... Wait a minute, Tall Pumps. Wait a minute. Wait, just 1 minute. That's the way Twinkie did it. Wait a minute. Wait, just 1 minute. My sister SK said she loves y'all lions, but she gonna protect her sister. And then just in case you don't know, SK8843 is locked and loaded. I just want you to know, there ain't no play in her game. She comes locked and loaded, and she'll shoot first and ask questions later. She gonna protect her sister. That's the way we did. Listen, let me tell you the Stillman. Now y'all about to make me act silly. The Stillman family motto, because my family, before my dad, my father and my grandfather were preachers. Everybody else in my family just might have been gangster. Now, you didn't hear it from me, but they just might have been gangsters. And listen, this is what they said. Listen, if you get in a fight, this is the way you're gonna deal with the Stillman clan. We stick and stay until you carry us away. So once you start a fight with the Stillman, baby, you better be ready to hang in there till the last breath, because we gonna fight till we can't fight no more. So you heard it there from SK8843. She loves y'all, but she gonna protect her sister. Stick and stay till they carry us away. Crazy Berrytown is in the room, y'all. I talked about her earlier. Good morning to you, Crazy Berrytown. I tell you, that stretch on yesterday and the Zumba design, that set me up. I tell you what, I felt so good after I finished. I got all the way down to the last songs, the last two. I didn't make those last two because, honey, STL had run out of gas. But I tell you what, it was just a marvelous, marvelous, marvelous time with Crazy Berrytown on yesterday. I appreciate her for what but check her out, y'all. Check out them moves. Check out the swivel hips. Check out them swivel hips. You better swivel them hips, Crazy Berrytown. You better swivel those hips. I appreciate her for all she brings. And then I got out and did my 20-minute walk on yesterday. And what did I do? I walked up on a 6-foot black snake. And I'm not scared of snakes. So it startled me at first because I just wasn't expecting. I mean, I was walking and getting my little hustle in out there. And then I looked down and I saw something that looked like a big old long belt. And I was like, what? And I looked at it again and I stood still and it sat still. And then he popped his head up, and he put that head up like, wait a minute, what you getting ready to do? And I just backed on up because I'm like, I ain't getting ready to do nothing. I'm going to let you do what you want to do. But at the end of the day, I was trying to get my camera and I wanted to take a picture of it. But before I could take a picture, it was gone. But I said, Lord, today there was a turtle sunbathing on a little log. And then we saw all all kind of ducks. I saw mallard duck. I saw everything was moving yesterday. Everything was moving. The ants were moving. Everything was moving yesterday. Bugs I didn't even know what they were moving. But I got out of Crazy Berry Town's energetic Zumba and went out for my power walk. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you what. Taking care of your body, it makes you feel good. It really, really will. It makes you feel good. Crazy Berry Town, I appreciate you for what you bring to Twitch and what you bring to our lives so we can be healthy. Come on, Eileen Sideways is reporting for duty. Let's get on back to the poll call, because listen, they coming in trying to report for the poll. Eileen Sideways, thank you for coming in. I see you, sis, and I'm not mad. Vintage Sugar is here, and she fights. Yes, Sharon, she fights. I just want you to know. Thank you for hosting, Liza. Thank you for hosting. Top Up said, wait a minute. BTG Mom said she ain't worried. Grandpa and her sisters got her. You better ask somebody. She fights. Shelby Thunder with all the S's. She fights. And the rebel said she's a witness. Witness for my... Oh, y'all got me crying. You sure don't want the brother to join in. Oh, Lord, she done got the brother into it. Y'all better ask somebody. Lord Jesus. Confessions came in saying no. BTD Mom, the Crazy Berry Town knock you out the baby. She works you, baby. She works you. She does. She works you in a very healthy way, in a very concerted and directed, intentional way. She works you, but she does it. You will be safe. You will be safe. But at the end of the day, I tell you what, she works you out. Top Pumps. Why did I see a tribe of snakes? Listen, Top Pumps. The snakes are out. I don't know what it was yesterday, but I tell you what. That joker was big. That joker was big, Tall Pumps. And, like I said, I'm not scared of snakes. Now, I know it was a black snake because I'm very familiar. We had snakes at our house annually. Every year we lived in the country. So, it wasn't anything to be in my house and see a snake in the house. Good morning, Royal Confessions. Come on in here. I didn't mean not to speak. That's a girl. That's my iron sharpens iron. Come on in here today. But yeah. We had snakes in the house. And the funny thing about that was that my father was scared of snakes, but my mother was not. So my mother was the snake killer in our house, not my dad. And the funnier thing about that is that my mom was a city girl and my dad was a country boy. But the country boy was scared of snakes, and my mama was like, where he at? And she was going to take his head off. The only good snake, as my mother said, is a dead snake. That's what Anna Marie said. The only good snake is a dead snake. And if she saw a snake, she was going to, listen, the head had to be, I don't care if it was just hanging by a thin piece of skin. She was going, all she needed was a hoe. She just get me the hoe. Where's the hoe? Get me a hoe. And then she'd get to, I got to break his back down. And man, she'd get to going and she'd be beating that snake and she'd break that back down. And then once she got it broke down and where he couldn't crawl, then she'd get the head off. And that's the way she rolled. And she was serious about that thing. Now, the only thing that I was looking for was to make sure it was not some kind of viper, some kind of poisonous little creature, because I was out there on the water, and when you get near the water, you got all kind of vipers and snakes. So but I looked at it, it was a black snake. And somebody said, how can you tell the difference? The shape of a viper's head is very different from the shape of a regular snake. So it did not have the triangulation. It didn't have the pit behind the eyes. It was just a black snake. So there was no reason to fear. I have no reason to fear. I had no reason to fear. It was just a black snake. It was a biggin, but it was just a black snake. And I let it go on about its business. And as I used to tell my mother, I said, those snakes are part of the ecology. Let them eat the mice. Let them eat whatever else is in here that it wants to eat, because it's keeping a balance around here. Let the critters live. Let the critters live. But that was a no-go in my mama's house, Tall Pumps. So listen, if she had seen a whole brood of snakes, she'd have been working on all of them. She would have been working on all of them. So that's just the way we rolled out there in the country. Good Good morning. The eagle has landed. Pastor Baloo is in the house. That's my guy. I see you. And from the Zion Travelers, KCK, so much love coming to you. That joker, Royal Confessions said that joker was kin to Tom. He was a big one, baby. He was a big one. I'm trying to tell you, the snakes are out, Crazy Berry Town. They really, really are. And I don't know if it's early. You say that's your cue to stay in. I don't know if they're early. I really don't. The weather here has just been so crazy. You know, we've had all 4 winters from week to week, within a week, repeatedly. So I think those jokers are just like, listen, we coming out. We claiming our territory. We're here and we ain't going nowhere. So, you know, but I say this once more and again. My cousin, and I'm going to give a shout out to him. He does the reptile expo that you see going all around the country. My cousin Jason Cruz, I gotta appreciate this young man. And listen, he's doing, my goodness, he does the expo with the reptiles. When you see the expo, reptile expos all around the country, that's my cousin. And listen, there are people out there that love snakes and amphibians, and they lizards, you name it, they got it all. And his kids, his children, they're not scared either. They go out, they handle all of the elements of whether it's a lizard, whether it's a snake, whether it's whatever. They are unafraid. And they do a beautiful job. He built himself a house, has a farm, and you know, he's got he's got llamas, he's got, you name it, they got it out there, and it's just living the life, loving it, merely from selling snakes and dog grooming. I think he has about 4 or 5 dog grooming locations here in the Kansas City area. So listen, Dr. Doolittle can make you some money. I'm just trying to tell you, while y'all running from the snakes, there's a lot of people that are loving the snakes. And he has one snake that, my goodness, I went to the expo here out in Overland Park, and that snake was bigger than me. And I mean, it took all kinds of them to actually be able to carry that joker. Beautiful. And I'm one of those. I think that the snakes are beautiful. That mama needs to go to jail for child abuse, and she can take her pole. You back on the pole. Is that child abuse, BTD mom? Is that child abuse? Y'all got me dying. Y'all got me dying. You ain't scared of no snake either. I'm not, Tall Pumps. I'm not. They're just, they're animals. So, you know, at the end of the day, you know, you agree with your mother. The only good snake is a dead snake, says Stacy 546. Get the hoe. Get the hoe. Listen, that's what my mama wasn't playing. She just give her a hoe, and any snake, I don't care if it was poisonous, I don't care if it wasn't. It was a snake, and at the end of the day, she meant to kill it. And with everything in her, she meant to kill it. That was boss energy. You better ask somebody, and she wasn't playing. Simply amazing. Come on in here. You know, mama beat the mess out of them snakes. She wasn't playing. She wasn't playing no games. You only burned down where there were just to be on the safe side. Listen, I hear you, Stacy. I'm let them live. Let them live. Let them live. Let them live. So, come on. Liza said, arrest that parent. She's unfit. I'm not mad at y'all. I'm not mad at y'all, because she kept right on swinging. She never stopped. She never stopped. Nancy, I know you're terrified of snakes, but you know, at the end of the day, I tell you, the snake's trying to get away from you just as much as you're trying to get away from it. So what are you running for? And they do keep the ecology balanced, y'all. Now, y'all may think I'm a little crazy, but I'd rather have a snake over a rat. I'd rather have a snake over some mice, because mice, and what's my issue with mice? They gonna come through and gnaw up everything you got. I mean, they just gnaw your stuff up and leave it for shreds. And that's my thing. I'd rather have a snake over a mouse. So let the snake eat the mice. A pole in the crib just don't mix. Y'all still on that pole. Listen, she's doing her thing up there just a swinging. Just a swinging. Y'all got me done. Y'all got me done. Now listen, I while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered, let's have a little chit chat. And today I'm taking my time, as you can tell, because I'm still tired from yesterday. That Holy Ghost rush in that we had yesterday, it still got me wore out, y'all. It still got me wore out. I tell you what. I'll take snake over rodents. I will, chick. I'll take a snake over some rodents. Listen, that Holy Ghost gully washing we had yesterday morning that sent us up out of here. Whew, I tell you, it was really, really, I tell you, it was beautiful, but it wore me down, Sheeran. It wore me down. I ain't even gonna lie. It's one of those afterglow. You have to kind of catch up. And after I did my Zumba, after I did my power walk, and then I had a very productive day, but I'm still I'm a little laggy today. Just a little bit laggy today. Now, I don't want no rats. Rats and mice, they're disrespectful. Tall pumps, they are disrespectful. They get all up in your cabinets and your walls and just be going for it. And if you've ever seen, it'll be mice don't need a large space. They just need a little bit of a crack, and them jokers can squeeze their bodies down. If you've ever seen one go through a crack, they can squeeze their bodies down and go through the smallest crack, and baby, just tear your stuff up. Just tear your stuff. You be all in the walls and carrying on. Now y'all like, well, my goodness, where's she? I lived in the country, and I lived in the country where we didn't have water. And this is my grandfather's house. We didn't have water. We didn't have electricity. We didn't have any of that. We had a telephone that rang on a party line. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about here. It rang on the party line. You could hear everybody's conversation when you didn't have to dial all the digits. All you had to do was dial the last four numbers, because the last four numbers was all you needed. The first three numbers, you didn't need to dial those. We didn't dial 7 digits in the country. We just dialed 4. Y'all think I'm playing, but I'm for real. We had transformers up on the pole, those glass transformers. When they would explode, it sounded like somebody set off a bomb. Y'all don't know nothing about those glass transformers. DJ Aurora Onyx Heart is in the room. Come on in here, sis. So much love to you. So I'm trying to tell you, I lived in the country. You had to go out to the pump, and you had to pump, and until the water came, you just kept pumping until the water finally came out, and you got your bucket, you carried it inside, and you had the slop jar at night. Y'all don't know nothing about what I'm talking about this morning. You had the slop jar that you had during the night, and if you had to do the big one, you had to go out to the outhouse, because nobody want to smell that all night long in the slop jar. Am I talking to it? Does anybody in here know what I'm talking about? You had the slop jar and you had the outhouse, and you were really doing something if you had a 2-hole outhouse, because that meant 2 people could go at the same time. And you always kicked the thing before you went in, because there would be snakes under the wood. Truck driver, do you know what I'm talking about? Truck driver knows what I'm talking about. The rest of y'all don't know what I'm talking about. But this is country living. You had to kick the thing to make sure there were no snakes under the thing when you stepped up in there. Look over in the hole and make sure there wasn't no snakes over in the hole, because God forbid they bite your butt. And then you did your business. You had a little toilet paper sitting over there to the side. You got up, pulled your stuff up, walked back inside. That was your great grandma's house, Stacy. I'm telling you, SK, she's a witness. She know I'm not lying. She know I'm telling the truth, because she was there. BTD mom knows I'm not lying. She was there. And you had no light except for the lantern at night. Otherwise, it was dark. And if you didn't clean and take care of the lantern just right, it was going to be smoky up in there. So you had to trim your lantern, and you had to make sure all of this was in order just to live. And at nighttime, you just laid up there because you heard the crickets, you heard all of the life outside, and sometimes the life came inside. Come on, truck driver, you know I'm preaching. I'm telling the truth. I'm telling these folks something they don't know nothing about. This is the way I grew up. And so, when you start this, that's your granddaddy's house, woman unsilence. Baby, this is the way I grew up. And listen, you had, listen, and y'all don't know nothing about being the youngest one in the batch, since you had to go out there and pump that water. The first one, which usually ended up being the older ones, they got clean, fresh water that you could see to the bottom of the pan. And it was a wash pan. It was a wash pan. It was a metal wash pan. You could see to the bottom of the the wash pan, but by the time that wash water got to me, it was syrupy. It had syrup in it from everybody else that had washed up before I washed up. Y'all ain't ready for me. And we had the potbelly stove. That's how you heated the water. You take the water down to the potbelly stove, put it in the tea kettle, let that water get hot, then you pour that water. Now, y'all don't know nothing about the potbelly stove because you put some coal over in there. Not that, listen, you could do some wood, but if you did wood, you were going to have to do it so frequently. Coal would hold that thing overnight. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? You chuck that thing full of coal and let that baby, sometime that warm morning is a warm morning, y'all called it potbelly. That warm morning stove, it'd be so hot it turned red. Y'all don't know nothing about that. Good morning, MC Control. Come on in here. I mean, that potbelly stove would be so hot it would be red. And on the inside, it was lined with bricks so it wouldn't burn through. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about. You heat that water on the tea kettle and the tea kettle would whistle. That's how you knew the water was red. The tea kettle would whistle. And after the tea kettle whistled, you'd pour that water over into your pan, your wash pan, and then you started passing it down the line. That's how you washed up. Come on, truck driver. Catch that rainwater. Catch that rainwater. I know all about it, y'all. I know all about it. So listen, you feel a buck of gratefulness coming on that you don't know anything about it. That cast iron potbelly stove was the business. Y'all better ask somebody. It heat your whole house. Now, I don't care. It could be as cold as I don't know what outside, but that potbelly, that warm morning is what it's called. That potbelly stove would keep you warm, baby. It would keep you warm upstairs and downstairs because that joker didn't play. So y'all wonder, how do I know these things? Listen, and you ain't seen a rat till you see a field rat. That rat that's been out there feeding and grazing on the corn. And then when the weather changes, it's coming inside because it wants the warmth. Those jokers would look like baby cats. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about. Your stepdad was the same way, DJ Aurora Onyx Heart. I'm trying to tell y'all. Y'all don't know nothing about it. Y'all don't know nothing. That's why spiritual thought leader is so spiritual. I grew up that it was in a way that was gonna make you spiritual. Yes, BTD mom, you said you gotta have clean water. Listen, that water be syrupy by the time it got down to the last one. See you, Liza. See you. We'll see you at 12 o'clock. Thank you for coming in. So at the end of the day, that warm morning did its thing. So I love it. Your mom had a tea kettle that whistled until she died. And there was a whole lot of people that did that. Stacy 546 out of the old group. That tea kettle was almost a necessity. You almost didn't go in anybody's house that didn't have that tea kettle. So, it was a beautiful thing. And you still have a tea kettle. And so, that's some memories, sis. I'm telling you, woman unsilenced. That's the way we grew up. So at the end of the day, I ain't ashamed of it. There's no shame in my game. What I will say is that, I appreciated the, what I want to say, when you talk about staying humble, when you start talking about realizing from whence you've come and your origins and your beginnings, Barbara Hardy is in the room. Come through. That's my sis. That's my these are they sis. I appreciate you. You was going to say the industrial size rats. Yes, they were. Only the strong survive, Kai Chick. Come through. You still have a tea kettle too, BTD mom. I see you. So, these are the things that that have brought me over. There is no shame in my game. A lot of times I talk about and I understand a reality and an existence that a lot of people have no clue. But at the same time, it's that country living. I think that when you talk about STL, spiritual thought leader, and the balance, the different levels of being anchored from that country living, I love it. I love it. I love it. I wouldn't trade it for the world. And so there you go. That's the way I was raised. That's the way I came up. And I love every minute of it. Now, I did go back to my family house, our personal house. That was my grandfather's house, but we were there just as much as we were at at our house. We had all the amenities of modern living, but we still lived in the country. And we raised pigs and all that good stuff. But I loved every minute of it. I absolutely positively did. Wouldn't trade it for the world. And, you know, I think back on those days very fondly, very, very fondly. Stacy, you hate that you have to leave. I love you, sis. Have a blessed weekend. You know how to make it if the amenities fail. Exactly, SK8843. We have those skills that if nobody else was able to survive under certain circumstances, we can make it happen. And I promise you, I don't care whatever we were confronted with, we could survive, you know. And as my father used to say, when people would come to visit, if you need something, tell me. And if I don't have it, I can tell you how to get along without it. So that is the mindset. That's the energy that we come with. If you need something, tell me. But if I don't have it, I can tell you how to get along without it, because we know how to live without it. And there's some folks that are like, oh my God, I got to have this. I got to have that. And if I didn't have this, I was watching a video that Larry Reed Live had put up of some young woman said she needed somebody. They had to have at least $1 million to even look her direction. And her, you know, now I know I get on here and I talk all kinds of ways, but I do know how to speak grammatically correct, with grammatical correctness, even though I don't do it because I don't want to, because this is what I'm doing and this is the way I do it on Yes You. However, I'm looking at somebody that absolutely positively did not know how to speak, and she's standing there talking about she needs a man that makes at least $1 million, otherwise don't look her direction. And I'm like, and I gotta have this and I gotta have that. And I listened to all the things that she was saying that she had to have. And I said to myself, you poor, poor sister, if you gotta have all of that to live and think that you're happy, you are really uninformed. So, you know, for the people that feel like they have to have all of these things, who knows? I'm gonna go here. You have a tea kettle too, Kai Chick. I see you lived in the city, but you always had to have hot water. I hear you. And I'm coming on down. I'm coming on down. I'll make sure I get everybody. Is anybody else buffering? I don't know. Rebel, are you buffering too? Is that yes to the? I'm not sure what the yes is to. Is everybody buffering? Is everybody buffering? I'm gonna stop just a second and see if we have. Okay, no buffering. Okay. So. At the end of the day, you know, you don't have to have all that stuff. You don't have to have all that stuff. Thank you all. Thank you for the responses. Dr. Dady Priest is in the room here. Dr. Dady is here. The Funk House is here. So glad to see you. Now, you know, Dr. Dady Priest is my girl. She is the high priestess. And if you're not following her, I want you to know engagement matters. How you feeling today? Is it a 1? Is it a 2? Is it a 3? Is it a 4? Is it a 5? Put it in the chat. Engagement matters. It's raining real hard, and we may have some buffering due to the rain and the storm that's going on right now. So I'm in a city where it's storming. So if we have some problems, just let me know and we'll adjust. You have 2 tea kettles, no buffering, thank you. And probably doesn't have her own. Come on, woman unsilenced. Now that's what I want to say about this young lady. She probably doesn't have her own pot to piss in, but she wants somebody else that has all of these other things. And this is where I want us to understand that life is not about all of these material things. And that's going to allow me to segue. I know we took a lot of time, and that's okay, because I'm trying to relax myself. I'm not worried about you. I'm trying to relax myself this morning. So, you know I'm high energy, but this morning I'm just going to roll on the low because I need to take care of myself, and I'm a little tired. So at the end of the day, this helps me to segue to where I want to go, though. It's reported to me, and it's unconfirmed as of of the time of the release of this article. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's far from the truth. They're saying that. And the Funk House, if you're a streamer, put your information in the chat, because we definitely want to follow you. And welcome to the Lion's Den. So much love coming to you, the Funk House, my brother. Appreciate you. Come on in here, DJ P-Foo. So much love coming to you as well, my brother. So much love coming to you. Thank you. He is a streamer. I mean, you will enjoy his stream. If you're not following DJ P-Foo, please follow him. He will bless your whole life. She needs an education. She absolutely does, BTD mom. While she's talking about, oh, I need a millionaire, but you can't put a sentence together. You can barely talk and whatever. You know, I'm just looking and I'm saying, I need you. You do stream. Awesome. Please put your information in, and we want to follow you. I want to follow you. So please make sure that you're following DJ. The Funk House. The Funk House. Appreciate him. Now, this is where I want to go. While we do all of this, DJ Stacy Bless One, y'all coming on in here this morning. She is a streamer, you all. She will bless your whole life with the gospel. She does retro. She does present day. She does it all. You want to go and be blessed by DJ Stacy Bless One. This is my girl. I love you, sis. Thank you for coming in. So I appreciate all of you beautiful people that are in here. And this is what I want us to understand. Okay, now when we look at this, it's reported to me that there was a whole arsenal of a Russian military that was wiped out by the Ukrainians early this morning. And you all know how I feel about war. You all know how I feel about violence. I wish that Putin would not be out here trying to assert himself over a sovereign country like Ukraine, but he's done what he's done. It was reported last night. Den darn, come on in here. I appreciate you for coming in the Lion's Den this morning. I'm going to give this station identification for the Funk House before we move forward, because I really want you all to follow this streamer. Catch at the Funk House every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time for the rhythm section, and Saturday 2 p.m. for digging the creates session. Y'all go on out here and follow and support this brother right here. Den darn, good morning to you, sis. Good morning. So much love coming to you. So much love coming to you. I appreciate you for all that you do. Going on back to DJ Aurora Onyx Heart. One thing you learned in life, and you're still a young gun, the little things mean enough. And that is me. I do not need big, expensive gifts. All I want is love in life. And that is all I need is my family, friends, and loved ones in life. And you are rich. Drop the mic, girl. Drop the mic, because you said that. You said that, DJ Wild Aurora Heart. Onyx Aurora Heart. Let me get all those in there correctly. Good word. All you need is love. And drop the mic. Family, friends, loved ones that genuinely love you, and you are rich. Come on with that. Now, this is what I want to say in relationship, even as I tied into telling you about how I was raised, how I grew up. I know about the outhouse. I know about the pumping water. I know about no electricity at all in the house. I know about lanterns. I know about getting the oil in the lamps so you could have light at night. I know about the warm morning or the potbelly stove. I know about chocking it full of water. I know about using the outhouse and having the slop jar in the house. I know about all of that. And I'm appreciative for all of that, because listen, this is what I want to say when I look at this situation right here. This is one piece of aerial footage that was taken of the alleged massacre, if I can call it that, of these Russians that were trying to build a bridge and come across to another side of the Ukraine, and the Ukrainians just took them out. Good morning, Go Ratty. I love you, man. Thank you so much for coming in. Blessings to you, blessings upon blessings. And I hope that all the richness of yesterday's prophetic is manifesting in your life. It will, it shall. Now, to the point that this is drone footage that's showing them, and this is what's left, and they're saying that well over 1,000 plus people were military personnel were killed in this particular scenario. Thank you for listening. I got you lurking and working, DJ Aurora Onyx Hart. Thank you. Now, I feel like this because those were some young lives that Putin put in jeopardy and endangered them. And I know it's war. I get it. But at the end of the day, yes, they were trying to build a bridge. They were trying to build a bridge from one side to the other side. And they were sitting ducks. They were sitting ducks. And so whatever high up military ranking individual made this stupid idea of building a bridge to get to the other side, what were you thinking? What were you thinking? Thank you for lurking. I love you, Kai Chick. I love you so much. She's lurking and working. That's my girl. That's the evangelist. What were they thinking, Tall Pumps? So at the end of the day, you have 1,000+ military young lives, I'm sure, because more times than not, it's the young men and women that are providing the resources of labor and fighting for these countries. So I'm looking and I'm saying, while I understand and listen, I'm gonna read this verbatim. Russian army vehicles, including as many as 36 tanks, were blown to smithereens as the entire battalion gathered to make the crossing and was wiped out. Okay, so I'm gonna read it again. Russian army vehicles, including as many as 36 tanks, were blown to smithereens as the entire battalion gathered to make the crossing and was wiped out. Now, while and this is again, it's drone footage, they're not acknowledging nothing has been authorized and certified. This is what's been leaked out. This is what's being told. And there's several different media outlets that are reporting this same report, but it's still not verified. It's still not confirmed, if you will. Nobody's actually saying this is what happened. But these drone footages are showing pictures again of this battalion and all these, and I'm gonna say it again, these young people's lives. That's all. Everybody else sees war. Everybody else, well, I won't say everybody else, but many people just see war. And again, Ukraine is a sovereign country. I want them to be sovereign. Don't just come in on my territory and just take it over because you feel like you can. So at the end of the day, this is the manifest destiny kind of concept that many Europeans have had. Just go around the world, and if you see it and you want it, just take it. If you see it and you want it, just take it. No, ma'am, no, sir. Somebody lives here. Somebody owns this. Somebody, this country is a country. It's sovereign. It doesn't need you to just come in and take it over. And again, Putin did it under the guise of there were human rights offenses that were going on there, and they were going in to protect the human rights of the Ukrainians, and of all things to come in with something as ludicrous as that. But at the end of the day, this is the issue that I have with it, folks. This is the issue that my heart really goes out about this whole scenario. Those young men and women, while we're talking about they were blown to smithereens, somebody's child was blown to smithereens. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Somebody's son, somebody's daughter, somebody's husband, somebody's wife. Michelle Brownell, my quiet storm, is in the room. Good morning to you, sis. I see you. And while we seemingly are gleaning such happy thoughts and happy emotions that the Ukrainians did something to the Russians to stop this advance and attack. And I get it, y'all. I get it. But at the end of the day, I'm like, but I still say, y'all didn't get Putin. You all didn't get any of the people. If we really want to talk about the folks that are making these crazy decisions to come in and infringe upon someone else's sovereign right to be free, you're not doing anything to him, but you're killing his people. And this is why I'm so opposed to war. I know military makes so much money. That military complex, it makes so much money, whether it's the making of the equipment, the making of the planes, the boats, the whatever they're using, the artillery, the this, the that, the other. I'm just so, I just cannot say. This is spiritual thought leader. And y'all know this is me. Yes, you, O Cube. You know how I take it over here. No cream, no sugar. I take it strong and black because I tells it like it T-I-Z-Tis. Why do we feel like we still need to go out here and blow this whole blown to smithereens? I'm like, is that how barbaric we are? Is that how inhumane we can be? Because at the end of the day, even though I agree they had have no right to go over here and infringe upon this sovereign country's right to govern and be independent. At the end of the day, why do we get so happy and so much glee? Blown them to smithereens. Somebody's dead. Over 1,000 and something people are dead. I'm opposed to it, y'all. I can't help you. I can't help you on the, and at the end of the day, have we not advanced to some level of decency? Have we not advanced to some level of different mindset that we can resolve conflicts other than war? It's a money-making machine, but it's a killer. It's a killer. And even for our babies that come back, do they come back with the same sound mind? Do they come back with any soundness of mind? So at the end of the day, we come on, Go Ratty. I see you. They preach to us about black on black crime, which is a problem. Yet white on white crime causes whole entire wars. And you said a mouthful right there. So Putin ain't going on the front lines. He ain't going on the front lines. So at the end of the day, what have you really accomplished, Tall Pumps? What has he really accomplished? We're killing kids. We're killing innocent children that have nothing to do with this conflict other than the fact that some leadership said go out there and fight. And I'm like, I'm sick of that, y'all. And at the end of the day, 1,000+ lives in one fell swoop because some stupid leader, and I'm not even just talking about Putin, I'm saying whoever came up with this scheme and devised, we're going to go out here in the middle with no kind of protection, with no kind of covering. We're going to come out here in the middle of nowhere where we're just wide open like sitting ducks, and we're going to build a bridge. Who in the world decided that? Because it wasn't your child. Your child wasn't in there. Your grandchild wasn't in there. Your sister, your brother, your wife, your husband. Yes, you can sanction, go out there and do this and get it done. However you got to get it done, get it done. Yeah, you can say that because it's not impacting you and yours, but it's impacting us and ours. And at this point, listen, if you got an issue, you and yours go out there and figure out. Leave me and mine alone. Would you please leave me and mine alone? So, I look at that. Now, how I want to tie that additionally. Now, when you look at the kind of devastation that has been wreaked, they have wreaked havoc upon these people. They've blown up their whole cities, towns. I mean, it's just nothing left there but rubble. Now, when I look at that, beloved, this is the thing that I say. I have to deal with this idea that at the end of the day, there is nothing there for them to live with. There's nothing there. I mean, you talk about whole structures are gone. Hospitals gone. Places of business gone. Homes gone. So I'm going to take us back to this whole idea. Why do I think that I could survive? Because I know how to do, as my father said, tell me what you need, tell me what you want. And if I got it, you can have it. But if I don't have it, we'll tell you how to live without it. I know how to live without it. Some of y'all, I'm going to just say straight up, y'all, if something came over here and devastated us from, be it a tornado, be it a hurricane, be it a whatever, some of us would really be hard pressed on how in the world can me and mine survive, because you've been so enamored with all of the pleasantries of life that you don't know how to live without it. That's not a negative, but at the same time, I am saying, I do want you to get to a point in your mind, unlike this black female that is all over the internet talking about, I need somebody with $1 million or more, or else don't even look my way. because I need things. Listen, you need love, and I almost want to say to her, you need a whooping. But anyway, you know, at the end of the day, and now I'm not espousing the violence. I'm just using that as a figure of speech. You need a whooping, because at the end of the day, I'm looking and I'm saying we've gotten to the point where we identify so much that we want that has nothing to do with life and happiness. But we've made these things norms that we absolutely feel if I don't have this, I cannot survive. Come on, Go Ratty. At least in ancient historic Africa, the kings and the queens went out there and fought as well. And you gotta, that's the truth. That is the truth. That is the truth. Would lead the charge. They would lead the charge. But now you got folks that they throw a rock and hide their hand and find a bunker somewhere way up under the ground where they can go and hide while everybody else is out there doing their bidding and they're fighting and losing their lives. And there's a problem with that. Tall Pumps, you wonder, does anyone on the Russian side sit back and say, what are we doing? Just I agree with that, Tall Pumps. And I have to feel, even to the extent of, come on, Din Darn, we talking facts. I have to feel like to the extent of some of those soldiers, when they're committing those atrocities that they're being charged and ordered to do. Now, some of them are just monsters anyway. That's what I would say. Some of them are just monsters anyway. But then for those that are not, how can you do some of the things that you're doing? And let me tell you what it brings me in mind of. There was during the riots that were going on during the Black Lives Matter, and they had called out the National Guard, I believe it was in Washington, D.C., I believe it was. And you remember they had the National Guard out there and they were just manhandling those people. But if you remember, there was a video that went around as they were standing there at attention, ready to just beat these black folks to a pulp and anybody else that was standing in solidarity with them. I don't know if you all saw the video that went viral, but there was a black National Guardsman that was standing there and you could see his lips moving saying Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. I don't know if any of you all saw that or not, but that video went viral and it impacted me so heavily because I had to think to myself, what do these black National Guardsmen feel like out here manhandling their people, but they're under orders? And I have to feel like there is something that goes on in those military personnel's minds and in their hearts that causes them to be torn, that causes them, yes, go Ratty, you got to see that video. You got to see that the young black man was standing there and the people in the audience and that were viewing, the viewers, they were saying, look at him, he's chanting, his lips are moving. And it was the saddest thing because I'm sure he was torn, Go Ratty. And I have to feel like for anybody that has half of a heart for humanity, when they're put out here in these situations as military to do these dastardly deeds, there has to be something within that is torn. So, you know, I think these are some areas that we have to look at. Have they really been brainwashed with nationalism to the point that they just feel like, oh, I'm out here for my country, kill them. You know, those are human beings. And I think these are the things that when they come back to their country, when they come back to their family, when they come back to individuals that they love, and why do we have so many of our veterans who are emotionally distraught, having PTSD, can't talk to their families about what they saw, what they went through, what they did? Unable to reconcile that and then beginning to have all of these mental health issues. How do you reconcile going out here and doing things that you otherwise would not do that go against your humanity and what you feel is right, but you're being ordered to do it and you've got to follow command? These are all types of things that I say we need to look at this. We need to look at this, and we do it to our young people. We get them fresh out of school. We get them fresh out of coming through graduation. We push them right on through a year or two after they've graduated or straight from graduation. And the next thing you know, here they are. And we're brainwashing them. We're training them. We're giving them all of this. And then we put them out there like sitting ducks. Listen, and I have to say this. I feel like whoever ordered this from the Russian side, whoever ordered this from the Russian side, heads need to roll. Somebody needs to be replaced. Somebody needs to be removed, because you put these kids out here as sitting ducks to be massacred. And so I get no joy. I get no pleasure out of reading they were blown to smithereens. No, ma'am. No, sir. No, ma'am. No, sir. Because at the end of the day, those people that you're talking about were blown to smithereens. That's somebody's child. And that's all I got to say about that. You know, I just, and for us, we would do well to learn, should we ever have to deal in a situation where something or someone comes in and devastates our land and soil, how are we going to survive? Do you know how to make it? Do you know how to boil some water? Do you know how to catch some rainwater? Did you hear what my brother truck driver said? Sit the pot out there and catch some rainwater. Some of y'all would be clueless. You don't know about catching rainwater and then boiling it so you can use it. So, you know, all of these things, you got to learn some survival tactics and some survival skills. And I'm glad for everything that I got. SK8843, it's soul crushing, PTSD at its core, SK. And then you have to think, for the survivors of the Russians that survived, and at this point that it's being reported it was an absolute massacre, and it probably was, without a doubt, but somebody may have potentially survived. Can you imagine that survivors lives from this point going forward after last night? Can you imagine how those moments and however long it took for them to be massacred? Can you imagine what if they survived? Can you imagine what their lives are now going to be like going forward versus what it was before this bombing last night? War, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again. Oh my goodness. So, you know, come on, Tall Kai Chick. I'm just trying to led to the lambs and slaughtered. That's what they were, Kai Chick. They were led to the lambs and just slaughtered out there. And somebody needs to answer for that, in my opinion. The West had no problem having these Russian oligarchs buy all of the luxuries, not realizing they were funding a dictator. You know, and I do believe they knew they were funding dictators, because this is the way I feel about it, Go Ratty. I feel like at the time we had a president that wants to be a dictator, huh? We had a president that wants to be a dictator, in my opinion. So yeah, he was funding, and he knew what he was funding, because he was funding what he wanted to become, in my opinion. This is Yes You O Cubed, one-on-one, just me and you. You know how we do it over here. No cream, no sugar. We take this coffee strong and black, because I tells it like it T-I-Z. Tis. And that's my oration this morning. Oh yeah, he was jealous of him, Go Ratty. He was jealous of, he wanted everything that they were doing. Everything that they were doing, that's what he wanted. And if the truth be told, and this is why y'all better wake up, if the truth be told, they're still working to that end. They are still working to that end. Do not be deceived. It didn't stop with 45. They're still working to that end, because that's what they want. Come on, Kai Chick. No cream, no sugar. We take this coffee strong and black, because we tells it like it T-I-Z. Tis. So I need y'all to wake up and smell the coffee. Don't get lax and don't start resting on your laurels, baby. We've got work to do. We've got work to do, because this is what they would love to see over here in these here divided, but should be united states of America. So at the end of the day, wake up, cheerings, wake up, because when I tell you, you better pay attention. Pay tension. They didn't just let those oligarchs load up with all the luxuries and pleasures of life on accident, Go Ratty. There's a plan to their madness. You better believe that. There's a plan to their madness, and they're just showing their hand. This is what they're wanting. Yes, come on, SK, and they're still trying it. They're still trying it. So just listen, don't be deceived. Don't be deceived. We're in 2022, but don't be deceived. Everything ain't hunky dory and peaches and cream and loving everybody. And we've come into a new, there's some folk out there that are still in dastardly. They're just dastardly, y'all. They still are hoping and wanting to have an existence that is exclusive of the majority and only given to a small minority. Pay attention, y'all. Pay attention. Because listen, these jokers ain't playing. So at the end of the day, I want you to pay attention. Handmaid's Tale. Listen, if you haven't seen The Handmaid's Tale, that might have been Prophetic Rebel Inc. If you haven't seen The Handmaid's Tale, when I first started watching it, I was like, what is this? But baby, if you haven't seen The Handmaid's Tale, I think somebody in Hollywood had a prophetic unction. They had a prophetic unction. Oh my God. And all in the name of religion. And if it doesn't speak to this country to a T, baby, all in the name of religion, a whole bunch of crazy folk. So your oldest son was in the Marines, and he went when he was 18. And when he got out, I watched him as he slept. He was fighting and talking about everything that he did while fighting in Afghanistan. Truck driver. And listen, I understand that. I believe it. My heart goes out to our military personnel because they saw some things. They saw some things. They did some things. You understand what I'm saying? Under orders, they did some things. And sometimes I don't care what anybody says. I followed orders, but at the end of the day, I'm fighting with my conscience. I followed orders, but at the end of the day, I'm fighting with my mind. I'm fighting with my morals. I'm fighting with my belief system. And I'm going to say it one last time. War, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again. And that's all I'm going to say about that. And I think I've said plenty, but I mean every word that I said. And I know some of y'all are really into that military complex and that military concept and idea because, hey, it makes money. But I'm like, at the end of the day, it's a whole lot of other ways to make money than killing folks. Now, I want to come on and I want to come through and share some other perspectives here on maybe a couple of other stories because I think I'm almost out of time. I'm at the 8:30 mark. Oh man, this story hurt my heart. This story hurt my heart. Following COVID, one of our HBCUs, and they probably are not the only one, but one of our HBCUs, oh, come on, that's not what I want. Y'all doing a whole bunch of, I hate these things with all the advertisements in it. That's why I try to find some where I can give you something that doesn't have an ad. But here we go. Let me see if I can show it from this one here. I don't think this is their first time on the chopping block. Go Ratty, I'm gonna read what you said. It is like brainwashing from when you're young. It is a form of brainwashing, and y'all don't want to hear what I'm saying, but that's what boot camp is brainwashing, in my opinion. Now, here we go. Lincoln College again, and I think they were on the brink before, but after COVID, and they had a massive cyber attack. Lincoln College, one of our historically HBCUs, historically black colleges, universities, is closing their doors because they cannot meet the bills. They cannot afford to keep the doors open. So it's shutting down. So when I heard that, it was like, okay, they were already struggling and they were already after COVID,
really trying to do what they could to maintain and keep their doors open. As I understand from this article, basically what happened was somebody hacked they were victims of a cyber attack and hacked their database such that their donors and anything and everything else that they utilize to be able to reach out to raise funds and do some fundraising for the college. They were unable to do any of that because of the cyber attack, and information got out, and I guess they're trying to recover from the backlash of people's personal information getting out and all of the ramifications that come along with that. And at the end of the day, they're not going to be able to make it. Come on, Michelle. They lost accreditation in 2018, right before COVID, and they lost a third of their students. So at the end of the day, my heart goes out to Lincoln College. I was saddened to read this story. My heart just sank. And accreditation is a real issue for a lot of Black schools in even the urban core. Here in Kansas City, Missouri, we had a season where most of our Black schools were not, the whole school district was not accredited. At one point, the whole entire school district was not accredited. And how that happens, man. And that's actually when I was called in and contracted in to do ACT, SAT prep with the kids. And that I'm going to give kudos to Kauffman Foundation was the funder for that brought us in and allowed me a wonderful opportunity. I had a great experience working in the school district and eventually being flown around the country to the Midwest region. I had 17 states that I managed. And at the end of the day, it was something trying to see schools and areas trying to maintain their accreditation. Again, man, when you start talking about the test scores that they have to hit, and I don't know if Dr. Dady's still in here. I don't know if Crazy Berrytown's still in here, but any other educators that might be in here, accreditation and the struggle that seems to plague Black institutions in the urban core, Black school systems. It seems like accreditation is just a mountain that is constantly a challenge to climb because the scores. Understand that most of this is attached to the scores that the children are making when they take these standardized tests. So you've been a part of accreditation teams for different school systems. The process is tedious. Thank you so much, Dr. Dady. And so, at the end of the day, United Way was also another factor. I was in Detroit school system. I was in an area of Alabama. I was in Kentucky. I was in some areas, in remote areas, man. I drove. I had to fly in to an area. I was in Birmingham. I had to fly into an area and then sometimes just drive into no man's land. And I was like, Lord, if no cell phone, your phone was dead. There was no service in some of these remote areas they were sending me to. And I was like, Lord, if something happened to me back up in here, they not even gonna know where I am. But at the end of the day, I would check in and let people know sporadically where I was at. But at the end of the day, it was a long journey, a lot of struggle. And I was down in Texas, and these students were really, it was a dilemma. I felt my heart went out for Baby Bear J-Man. Let me see. Let me read that. Baby Bear James, there we go. DJ, come on in here. So good to have you. Thank you for coming. And I'm assuming he is a streamer, and I want you all to follow him. Please follow him. Sometimes school systems want to close low-performing schools and divert their support on purpose. It's usually Black and poor people who are impacted. You're saying a mouthful right there, Dr. Dady, and I've seen it. I've witnessed that. And so, I'm looking and
again, when you start talking about the whole accreditation process, and again, where is the money being diverted to? It's usually, and they're doing it on purpose. I agree with you 100%, Dr. Dady Priest, and you definitely know your field because this is your field. I was just called in and contracted in to try to help. It was a wonderful job that I did for about 5 or 6 years, contracted, but it was a heart-wrenching job because it was, you could see the struggle. I could see the struggle from the teachers, the administrators. It was a lot. It was a lot. And at the end of the day, I want to give kudos to what I know of United Way, because United Way, especially in the Detroit area, was huge on doing what they could to try to lift accreditation in Black and minority schools. And so I want to give it up for the United Way. As far as I know, and from my experience with the United Way, if you're looking for some place that you can put your dollars and support a cause, I can speak for the time that I worked with the United Way, those 5 years that they provided funding. It's a worthy cause. The importance of cybersecurity, especially for Black folks. And that's a conversation that needs to start coming up and being had more frequently, Go Ratty. We need to talk about cybersecurity because at the end of the day, it would seem that the cyber attack was the death blow. Now, as Michelle said and pointed out, they were already struggling with accreditation from 2018, but it would seem, at least the way it's being presented in this story, that cyber attack was the death blow, and they just could not respond. They just could not, they couldn't come back from that. There is a Black cybersecurity streamer on Twitch who talks about the importance of cyber protection for us and our institutions. Come through, Go Ratty, give us some more information on that. And we may have to have a time to bring them onto the stream and let them do some sharing, because cybersecurity is huge. It amazes me that it seems like the government doesn't understand cybersecurity, because it seemed like whenever somebody wants to come over and get into our government system, they just come in and wreak havoc and do what they want. They just sashay in and sashay out. So it seems like the government needs to understand cyber protection. But definitely for Black companies and institutions, we got to really pay attention. So at the end of the day, there you go. I did want to report that, sad to say, but that was While We Slumbered, Slept and Slobbered. And that came out a few days ago, but I'm just not getting to it. Now, this story right here, and I'm going to just finish out with While We Slumbered, Slept and Slobbered. This story right here had me cracking up, because I'm going to just let you see the headlines. I'm going to let you see the headlines, and then I'll tell you the story. A man died of a heart attack while burying a woman he killed. Now, at the end of the day, I'm not happy. This is karma, y'all. That's why I'm laughing, because this story took me out. So here we go. 911 gets a call. There's a man in the backyard that's unresponsive. There's a man in the backyard that's unresponsive. You say no remorse on that one, Go Ratty. No response, no remorse, no remorse. Karma, baby. I saw this. I had this one in here yesterday, but we had the Holy Ghost showed up, so we left. I didn't do any of the slumber, slept, and slobber, just that one video. This man, it was reported to me that this joker was found unresponsive. The ancestor said, hell no. He was found unresponsive in his backyard. And the neighbors, somebody called the 911. And the peoples came, and when the peoples got there, they found him deceased from a heart attack. And then not many yards hence, they found a partially buried woman that was bagged up and partially covered over where he was burying her. And now this was his spouse. This was his mate. Listen, Kai Chick, you can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up, Kai Chick. This man was burying his significant other who he had strangled to death. Now, I'm sorry, y'all. I hate to laugh, but something in me, karma, baby. We talking about karma. Now, if that ain't some karma, baby, God said, no, sir. You gonna lay right where you are. You gonna lay out right here. You're not taking another step. You're not. She got him from the grave, Michelle. She got. Now listen, beloveds, listen. I want y'all to understand this. If you think you're going to do some wrong and get away, I just want you to understand. Everything done in the dark is going to come to the light. Now, if this man right here is not a perfect example of everything that you do in the dark is going to come to the light. Come out of that corner. You can't hide. And God told me to tell you, you can't hide. This man thought he had, that's swift justice, Kai Chick. That's swift justice. This man was found, and at the end of the day, you know what? I just looked at that and I shook my head and I said to myself, I said, self, this is what you get. Honey, that dude got it the worst way. At the end of the day, listen, you can't hide. You can't throw a rock and hide your hand, because as somebody said from the old school, your sins will find you out. This is the true meaning of over my dead body, Dr. Dady. I can't even imagine what that funeral is going to be like, Go Ratty. Can you imagine? Number one, it's like, now, this was his partner, so it was a domestic situation. So it wasn't he snuck in on somebody's house and killed him. This is a domestic situation. So you have to wonder. You just really have to wonder. Now, first and foremost, let me stop laughing and let me offer my condolences to his family and to the family of the woman that he killed. And I have to be like Go Ratty and say, what are either of those funerals going to be like? Because what is either one of those funerals going to be like? Because at the end of the day, this situation right here is just absolutely positively unbelievable. But I'm telling you what, over my dead body is right. This is the epitome of over my dead body, baby. Boom, there it is. Karma, karma, karma on the spot. So at the end of the day, you know what? I'm looking, and I rest in peace to the real victim. I hope she messed him up in the afterlife. Come on, Go Ratty. Come on. I guess he said not near one person was going to ask him who had the body. Listen, this story right here, till death do we part, and she meant that, Michelle. She meant that. And now, BTD mom, now that's the truth. I hope they don't have any children, because at the end of the day, even though we're chuckling and we're laughing, somebody is devastated. And BTD mom, I cannot imagine what this scenario feels like if they had children together. So, you know, we are in the lion's den about looking at a situation from all different angles. So now I want to say amused, and I'm not laughing at the man's heart attack. I'm amused at how fast karma got his tail. Now, I feel for as Go Ratty said, the real victim here. My heart goes out to her. Then when we look at the families on either side, because listen, I'm going to assume he may have a mama, a daddy, a sister, a brother. He may have some children. So, you know, when you think about them, they're devastated, and they're devastated by and this is what we have to understand about life. No man is an island, and we're all interconnected. So what you do doesn't just have an impact on you. It has an impact on others, whether you realize it or not. So there's a domino effect here that's going to come into play that starts involving more than just the two individuals. The woman that he strangled and him having a heart attack. You got offshoots from that of people that are being impacted. Pay attention, people, because your actions and your behaviors impact more than just yourself. You are interconnected to other people. So as BTD Mom says, if they have children, no doubt this is heartbreaking. This is heart-wrenching. And when you have to deal with both sides of the coin, when you have to deal with, if they do have children together, my father murdered my mother, and now my father is deceased from a heart attack. That brings back the humanity to this story, that even though karma showed us, baby, don't think you can throw a rock and hide your hand, because karma will come back to bite you sometimes quicker than you think. But it also behooves us to also look at and acknowledge there are other people attached to both of these individuals that are still alive, and they still have to deal with the situation and what it has created. They still have to deal with that. They still have to live with that. You pray that Hatfield and McCoy spirit doesn't show up. Listen, Cassandra, listen, folks get heated when it starts coming to their loved ones, and especially when you took my child's life, you took my sister's life, you took my mother's life, you took my grandmother's life, whatever the case may be. People get heated. People get very heated. They get very hot under the collar. You heard even at the beginning of this stream, SK8843 said she loved y'all, but she does fight. So she fights with the S, with the S. Did you see it? As Shelly Thunder said, with the S, she fights. So when it comes to your loved ones, come on now, it is what it is. SK8843 had to say, y'all can talk about BTD Mom, but it ain't gonna be no hurting and laying of hands on BTD Mom, because SK will show up the same way, you know, and even much more so. Even more so, will we see those types of, and again, you're talking about loss of life. You can't get these people back. It's not like, you know, Sally was over there in the bag and they found her as he lay over here dead from a heart attack, and she's going to come back tomorrow. And there's no coming back. There's no coming back. And when you deal with that, come on, SK, Magwa's heart was twisted and then it quit. Excuse me, y'all. I didn't mean to snort, but I'm just Magwa's heart was twisted and then it quit. And then there you have it. I think that's the summation. SK. Don't ask me why that's tickling me. Magwa's heart was twisted, then it quit. Mel said Carrie reached up from the hole and dragged him down. Y'all just, I'm trying to have some sympathy in here, but y'all won't let me. Yes, fights with an S, Go Ratty. Fights with an S. That's what you pictured too, Michelle. Y'all silly. Y'all are silly. Y'all are just silly. Mel, Michelle, y'all ain't right. SK, I'm still, listen. Oh, okay, pull it together, STL, pull it together. Yes, we do. We've got to end domestic violence. I agree with you there, Go Ratty. We got to end domestic violence. And that's why I'm saying, you know, your cheating heart will quit on you. At the end of the day, we got to end domestic violence. We really, really do. And this is a reality. And I'm going to say this again. This is another reason why I'm not an advocate at this point in juncture of my life of laying hands on your children for correction. Because once you start the laying on of hands, and I know you say, I know when to stop, I know where to stop, but there are people that don't know when and where to stop. And I think if you really stop and think about it, if you really, I'm looking at Mel saying you got to be in shape to kill somebody. If you really stop and think about it, at the end of the day, violence breeds more violence. And I would venture to say, for some of you, I want you to be honest. And were there ever times when you got angry and put your hands on somebody out of anger and maybe you didn't black their eyes and whatever, but you were out of control. I just need you to acknowledge that. Once you get that surge of adrenaline pumping and flowing in your veins, and you have this idea of laying on the hands, it always has the potential of going too far. And the one way you can guarantee it's not going to go too far, don't put your hands on people. Just don't put your hands on people. And if you're teaching your children the emotions and the feelings of violence, I just want you to think about this. You're teaching them how to have an emotional response, and they're feeling things from your violence, even though it's like, but you know, mama loves you. I'm beating you because I love you. And I know, you know, I'm going to get off the rails for some of you. I just derailed the train because you're going to say till your dying breath, beat them. That's what she said. You told Harpo to beat him. You know, that generational thing just keeps going because you believe in it very, very strongly. You believe the Bible told you to beat him, for some of you. But at the end of the day, I still have to challenge this whole element of violence begets violence. And at the end of the day, once you get that adrenaline flowing, and listen, once you see red and you go off the rails, you can really hurt somebody. I don't care who you are. And you may think, listen, spiritual thought leader, I'm not going to tell you my story, but let me testify. I was in a situation where I saw red, and as calm and as peace abiding as I am, I could have killed somebody. And I mean that literally. I'm not saying that figuratively. I could have killed somebody. And it's just better to me, don't go down that path. That's just my opinion. So, you know, again, when you're laying hands on people, we're talking about we want to end domestic violence. If domestic violence is going to be stopped, I say stop putting your hands on people, period. And maybe we could help that along. Truck driver, true story. There was a family that went to your church, and this lady killed their grandfather. And at the day of his homegoing, there was a gunplay between the two families. I believe that. I believe that because it gets just that heated. It gets just that hard, that hot. And so just stop the violence altogether. And to me, it's easier to stop it all than to say this is acceptable, but this is not. Learning anger control is very important, Go Ratty. I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly. And if the truth be told, you know, I got a scar on my body right now today where anger control, the anger control was a matter of putting my hand through a plate glass window versus putting my hand through somebody's face. And so when I got to the hospital, because I did require stitches, I'm telling on myself, I did require stitches, and they thought I had been stabbed. The cut, they thought I had been stabbed. And I'm like, no, I wasn't stabbed. Well, what happened? Lack of anger control. That's what it was. Lack of anger control. I got mad. So this is what I'm telling you. You can get yourself in some situations and some positions where, so we had to do some counseling. We had to do some therapy. I'm not mad. I'm not ashamed of it. Because, baby, if somebody can get your goat to the point that you want to put your hand through their face, you need some therapy. You need some therapy. So, you know, and I have that scar. I have that scar on my wrist. And sometimes I'll catch myself just rubbing it, and it reminds me there is nobody above losing their temper, and just don't put yourself in a position like that. So at the end of the day, you know, somebody said something the other day when I was talking about my people did not know potentially, but my concentration was in addiction and addiction counseling. But somebody said to me, "You talk like you ex-addict," and I can say that I am. And so I'm not talking. When I talk very strongly about different things, you may assume spiritual thought leader has no affiliation or understanding of these issues, but you don't know like I know. And at the end of the day, I know what he's done for me. So, don't ever assume just by looking at a person, don't ever assume just because where a person is in this station of life right here, you don't know from whence they've come and you don't know what all they've come through. So at the end of the day, that right there is like, just don't do it. Just don't do it. Come on, Cassandra, you lost control way back in grade school because a relative started by going upside your head and running. So I felt the need to prove you won't go home. You won't leave here like you came, in Jesus' name. That's what you said, Cassandra. We inflict damage on ourselves mentally, spiritually, and or physically. And that's the truth. That's the truth. And that's all I can do is keep it real. All I can do is keep it transparent, because the truth will make you free. So at the end of the day, it's no point in beating around the bush. So I tell people all the time, your message, your ministry. There's a blessing in it when you tell the truth and when you become transparent. Now, mind you, I don't go everywhere telling all my business and putting it in the streets, because everybody doesn't need to know my truth unless they're ready for it. And so I make an assessment of that as well. But I have no problem in telling the truth about things that I've done, places that I've been, things that I understand. And I understand them experientially, from experience. Let me just say it like that, because my brain is doing something different here today. But nonetheless, at the end of the day, karma. If I don't say anything else, and that's boss energy. It's boss energy when you can deal with your truth. Playing games and lying to yourself helps no one, but it especially does not help you. You've got to be truthful and honest and 100. You got to keep it 100 with yourself. If there's anything that I've learned in life that I can pass on to somebody else, I try my best to pass it on. I try my best to share it. And I try my best, if I can, share it with those that look like they may be going down that same road, because I already know what's at the end of that path. I know what's at the end of that path. And so at the end of the day, don't do it. Don't walk down the road. So I appreciate everybody that's here today. We're going to get ready to go. I'm not going to belabor the time. I appreciate everybody that's come in today. This is a Fresh Start Friday. I did a laid back today because I wanted to lay back and be laid back for myself. I thank you all for allowing me to just kind of glide today. I know you're used to that high energy, high impact, high octane fuel. But today I just wanted to lay back in the cut and just enjoy the stream and enjoy you all and have a good, beautiful conversation with you. I love you so much. So many things coming down the pike. I want to say this even. I want to acknowledge that Twana's Twitch, she is on the road to recovery and doing well, but she's still working on our logos. I appreciate her. Those are the logos that we have out. And those of you that are buying and patronizing, I appreciate you, because we're going somewhere. Ultimately, we're looking at having an app. We want the app to be available. We want the app to be really our main place of function. We'll still be streaming in all these other areas and all these different places. I love you, MCP 812. We'll be streaming in all these other places, but I really want to push that app, because there's some things that they will not allow through some of these platforms that I want to be able to approach and present as we progress, as we grow, as we go deeper. And those are things that I want to run and operate from the app. So your support is helping me to allow that to happen. To all of the subscribers, I want to say thank you. I want to stop and say thank you, thank you, thank you. I could not do this without you, and I appreciate you for embracing the vision. My mission, as Dr. Dady says, is to deconstruct the walls between the sacred and the secular, so that we can breed freedom, balance, and success. And really, balance comes first, but freedom, balance, and success. I want you to get the balance so you can be free and become successful. And we're deconstructing those walls. We're going to continue to deconstruct the walls. We've got work to do. Even as we said on today, when I talk about the idea that what is going on in Ukraine from Russia, they would love to do that over here in the US of A. We've got to organize and we've got to strategize and we've got to do something differently. I feel like Black people, this is a time, and I appreciate, again, this is a diverse stream, but this is a time I want everybody in the Black community, we've got to begin to understand solidarity and unification and coming together and creating a totally different reality and moving in our boss energy. And you know, I've been talking about boss energy, boss energy, boss energy. Thank you, Go Ratty. Twana's Twitch is responsible for those logos, and we are right at the cusp of releasing the male logos. There will be 2 of those for the men. And so we've got those in production and they're getting ready to come out ASAP. But I appreciate you all's patronage and support because we have a vision, and the vision includes even coming together. When you see Dr. Dady Priest, when you see Crazy Berry Town, when you see the Rebel Inc., all of these other streamers that come in and share their love. Listen, I'm not greedy. I'm not that one that's trying to hoard up and listen, it's all about me. It's all about me. It's all about me. I really want to be able, and I believe God is going to bless me because it's in my heart and always has been in my heart. I believe God is going to bless me to be a blessing to others, to put them and put all of us on a whole nother level to impact the world with the gifts that God has given us. So it's not, listen, I'm not trying to buy jets. I'm not trying to get homes and this and that and the other. That's not the way I roll. That's not the lion's den. It's about calling the lions and waking up other lions. And when I see other lions, I want to see Dr. Dady go over the top. I want to see Crazy Berry Town, the Rebel Inc. I want to see all of these people go over the top. I want to see people out in the community that we don't even know their names. I want to see them go over the top. This is what we're putting together, and this is what we're organizing in the Lion's Den, and that's exactly why God has given us boss energy. So we're going after this. We're going after it to make a change. And listen, it's happening. It's the ING crowd, I-N-G, not the in crowd. It's the ING crowd because it's happening. Dr. Dady, you know, whenever the Lord blesses me with the increase, baby, you out there, you are out there with the quickness. Whenever the Lord blesses me, you are out there quick, fast, and in a hurry. Showcase, showcase, showcase. That's the way we do it in the Lion's Den. That's what the Lion's Den is about. I love every last one of you. I don't want to be late because the Rebel Inc. is doing bangos. You don't want to miss bangos this morning. She's doing bangos at 9 o'clock. And so it's time for us to raid her. I love you so much. We're going to get up out of here. And you know how we do it. We're getting, I feel for my brother.
Oh, I feel for my
Well, I feel for my brother and I feel for my sister. This has been another edition of Yes You, Oh Cute, one-on-one, just me and you. I am your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman, and I appreciate you for coming in the Lion's Den this morning. For everybody that came and stayed, yeah, we weren't high octane today, but we had some conversation, and I hope you got something out of it. Because listen, you know how we do it over here. No cream, no sugar. We take this coffee strong and black because I tells it like it T-Z is. Now you can follow me on Facebook, on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Patreon, Twitter, Twitch, Anchor, Discord, and more. I'm out there, y'all. And listen, we're not just talking about change, but listen, I want you to be the change. You know the mantra. We don't have a spirit of fear. We don't have a spirit of intimidation. We've got power. We've got love, and we've got a sound mind. We don't just talk about change, but we plan to be the change. That's why we talk about boss energy. We plan to be the change. And at the end of the day, nobody's in this thing alone. Because it's us, you, me, we all, we're all in this thing together. Now, please, please, please copy that raid message and follow us over to the Rebel Inc. and play some bangos because we're going to have a good time over there. I love every last one of you. Thank you for being with me on this Fresh Start Friday, and make it a good one, y'all. Make it a good one. I love every last one. Only one, Miss Cox. I love you. Now, please meet me here. I will be back with Crazy Berry Town at 12 o'clock Central Time, 1 o'clock Eastern Time. With good grief, we're going to have this journey together, y'all. I love you. I love you. I love you. And you know how we say, we end it every single time. Peace for your journey.
I see you're not satisfied. Oh, I feel for my brother. Feel for my brother. I miss you, man. You're my brother. I said I love you, babe. I won't forget you, no. Oh, no, no. Oh, no, no, no. Sometimes I feel life is cheap. Everything's disposable and so are we. Can you hear me? Life is real, yeah. And if there's a heaven above, please start showing a brother real love. Cause I wanna go home. Oh, I feel for my brother. I miss you, man. Oh, I feel